Hey guys, welcome back to the farm. As spring is quickly approaching, I'm sure you're thinking about maybe adding some animals to your farm, or what new birds do you want to bring? Well, in order to do that, you need to be able to keep them safe. So we're going to walk around today and talk to you about how we keep our investments or our animals safe. But first, we need to head over to the chickens. They've got one feeder in there. I need to get them another automatic feeder so they have some more options when they come out in the morning and want to eat. We've only got the one feeder in there. We're going to add one more in each of those pens. Then we're going to talk about how we keep our animals safe. All right, guys, over here with the Bielefelders, they are happy to have another feeder. It won't be so much chaos, and we do have extras still. We may even put another one, but two of them is good. The worst part is in the morning when they first come out, they're all gathered around. But so since we're here with the chickens, let's talk about the chickens first, how we keep them safe. We're with our older chickens already outside. We'll go to the brooders in just a minute, talking about keeping them safe when you bring them home as chicks. But since we're outside, and all of these things are going to be different depending on your setup and your farm. But as for us, the first thing we have is a electrified fence, okay? This one actually isn't electrified. This is basically to keep the chickens where we want them. We do have this other one electrified that have the Australorps in there. That's because they were laying up on the fence and we want them to know not to go on the fence. So they have learned that. Usually for my chickens, I don't electrify the fences. We've had aerial predators, which hasn't been that bad for us. We've only lost 3 to 4 chickens in the 4 years that we've been here. So we do have hawks. We see hawks a lot, but we just haven't lost that many birds to hawks. But the fencing is to keep other stuff out. If I electrified that, if we were getting heavy raccoons or anything trying to kill these chickens, I would electrify this. But mostly the fence for us is to keep them in the area we want them to work the ground. So that's why we have the fence. You may need yours electrified, you may not. Also, you may just have a run to keep your chickens in. Not everybody has the option to move them around. I know a lot of people that have chicken runs, and then they'll just let the chickens out during the day every once in a while so they can forage and scratch and get things that they need. So fencing is a good way to keep your investment of chickens safe. So the other thing is housing. Ours are all mobile. So as long as you can lock them up at night, nothing can get in, they are good. So we have this open bottom here. As you can see inside this coop, this 1-inch wire, nothing can climb in or get through that to get to the birds. And also that's nice because their poop falls through and we don't have to clean out coops. But if you have a regular standalone coop, you're going to want to make sure nothing can dig up under that or get in, and make sure that it is locked. So that is how we're keeping our chickens safe. Like I said, if we need to electrify it, we can. If we start getting pressure, but at night, make sure they're locked up, because usually night is when most of the predators come out. So Bielefelders are doing well. Like I said, we got a couple aerial things over the years, but 4 chickens in 4 years is not bad at all. So let's go over here and check the Australorps out. These guys like to hang out inside. I don't know why that is, but they are definite homebodies. So anyway, same thing with them. As it starts to warm up even more, we'll take the fronts off so we have some better ventilation. I am going to get these guys out just because we're over here. I love to check out what we've got going on for eggs. Anyway, these guys have started using this nest box pretty well, and it looks like we've got 1 egg so far today. We've been getting 2 a day from these, and excited to start getting more. I bet you there's some inside. We'll check really quick before we head over to check out our brooder setup. Yeah, there's one sitting right there in front. That one hasn't learned how to use the nest box yet. So we've got our 2 for the day. Hopefully we'll get some more hens started laying soon. So normally you bring chickens home and they are chicks, unless you buy some pullets, which are chickens that are about ready to lay. So let's go over to our brooder area and talk about keeping your chicks safe when you bring them home. Okay, we're over here at the brooder, and our brooder setup has changed over the years. So you learn and you adapt and you change it to the way you need it. Obviously we've got a lot more chickens than we used to have, and so our brooders have gotten bigger. But this is one of our brooders. We've got about 4 of these. I think they're 8 by 8 dimensions. We just used plywood, cut it in half. You do not need it really tall if you have a lid. Once those chickens get a couple weeks old, they can fly up and out of these, so that could be an issue. Now, when we had our brooders in the garage, we never really cared. We didn't have a cat. Nothing was getting in our garage because the garage was shut up, so we didn't really need a lid. But it's nice to keep them where they're supposed to be. So you may want a lid. The reason now that we're out in these barns, rats, mice, things can get in there. Ask us how we know. We've lost some to some rats. So when you bring those chicks home, you want something that's solid. You may want a lid if you got a cat especially, or even not, you just may want a lid to keep them in. You could just build the walls higher if you wanted to, but we have the lids. So brooders, they need a brooder when they come home. You're gonna need heat lamps. A lot of times you just need to keep them warm. You're not really keeping them safe from anything when they're chicks, because normally they're in an area that nothing can get to them. But you need heat lamps. We don't have them right now because we don't have chickens on the farm, but you need some pine shavings. So fresh water, food. This is not a how to raise chicks. It's just how to keep your animals safe video. So you may want a lid on your brooder, and you're gonna need some heat lamps. So chicks are quite easy as long as you give them everything they need. And normally your chicks are in a closed area, so nothing can get to them. So the chicks are kind of the easy part when trying to keep them safe. All right, next animals that we need to keep safe on our farm are our pigs, and a little bit different than some other animals, but kind of the same. So what we run is we run our electric fences, and that keeps the pigs in, which keeps them safe, and it also prevents some animals from getting in here. Yes, we've talked about this many times. Anything could jump over. This is a 24-inch tall fence. That one over there we'll talk about in a minute is only 30 inches, so they're not very high. Our pigs don't jump. Yes, coyote, something could jump and get in here, but I've always talked about, I don't think an animal is just going to come and run and jump over. They're going to come and sniff and hopefully get shocked by that fence and choose to go somewhere else. So we do use the electric fence to keep our pigs safe, keep our pigs where they're supposed to be so they don't get into any issues, and hopefully keep other animals out. And so for running these fence chargers, we're not close to 110 outlets, so we have these solar chargers from Premier One. This one looks like it's half charged, but we're actually starting to get some sun now, so that should be helping us out. But they put enough voltage on these fences. There's Chatty Cathy. To keep the pigs in and keep other animals out. So that is a nice feature. The other different fence here is the 30-inch high. I'll show you the difference here. Down here on this 1024, this bottom wire is not electrified, so it can kind of sit on the ground. If leaves and stuff get up on it, it's not a big deal. This one here does not have a bottom wire, but sits up off the ground a little bit. This one has nice thick posts, but these electric fences are how we keep our pigs safe. As far as at night, we've never locked our pigs up. If you've got heavy predator issues, coyotes, bobcats, we've had bobcats out here. Don't know what you have in your area, but we've never locked our pigs up. We've got the pigloos, we've got some barns and other things that we run our animals in, but we've never locked them up at night, not even the piglets. You may need to lock them up so they can't go out. We've never had to deal with that, so we don't lock our pigs up at night. The main thing we're using is the electric fences, and I guess that's about it, because we don't lock our animals up at night, at least our pigs. We don't lock our pigs up at night. So electric fences are a big help to us from keeping them safe from predators. Some of our big boars, we keep way in the back of the property when all the boars aren't in breeding pens. We feel like if anything happened, the boars are obviously going to be able to defend themselves better than any of the other animals. And plus, they've got the electric fence around them. Knock on wood, we've never had an issue. We've trapped coyotes here on the property, but never had an issue with our animals. Let's go check out the pig pen down at the end of the meadow. All right, down here with all the females, they are on the same thing. We've got 4 fences. Depending on the amount of fences, you may need a bigger charger. I know these small chargers hold 3 to 5 fences, and the other ones can hold 6 to 10 fences, and they make bigger ones. So depending on the amount of fencing you're using, make sure you have an adequate charger. The other thing we also do with the electric fence, you got to test it. You got to keep testing it. We've had days where we haven't had sun. Supposedly these can last 3 days without sun and still hold a charge, but we like to keep testing it. We have fence testers on our feed cart, so when we come out here, we just bring the tester up, and we are getting 6 volts right now. So usually they say 4 to 6 is ample. We like them at 8, so we may need to go around and check and make sure there's no tree branches or anything else laying on that fence that will drown that out a little bit. So all our pigs, we've never had an issue with predators and pigs, like I said, knock on wood. So we've got the electric fences, we've got housing, adequate housing for the chickens, lock them up at night. Chickens are prey animals. They just get taken out by different things. Like I said, we've only lost 4, so it's not that bad. The pigs, we've never had issues. Maybe it's because they're so ugly, things are scared of them. I'm just kidding. These pigs aren't ugly. Look at those faces. So anyway, electric fences, adequate housing, and we've got 2 more things that we've used to keep our animals safe. Let's go check them out. So a lot of people will have guard animals. Now we ended up getting donkeys, 1, because I wanted them, 2, because I thought they'd be decent guard animals. We found out that mini donkeys are not the best, but when you hear them bray, that would scare a lot of things away. So normally people use full-size donkeys to protect animals. They would have them in with their animals to protect them. Ours are just pets, but when they bray, they sure are quite intimidating. So a guard animal is another way to keep your animals safe. So we have 1 more guard animal. I think I see him laying out over here. Let's go check out Cal and talk about getting a livestock guardian dog. Hi, Cal. Hi, bud. All right, come here, bud. Come here. All right, guys, sit, sit. Hey, Cal. Cal, sit. Sit. Sit down. There you go. Good boy. He got excited that we were going around to do chores when he saw the cart. So anyway, the last option that we got was a livestock guardian dog. Cal is a Karakachan, and it's a Bulgarian breed. And to me, this is our last resort. We really like Cal, and he's been a very good dog, but a lot of people, when they get livestock guardians, you see that old feed on there, bud? When they get livestock guardians, they put them in a pen with their animals. If they've got a pasture fenced in where they're keeping their animals, they'll put them in there. Well, we're not really set up like that and able to do that since we've got pens everywhere. Let's see, if I'm just counting quickly, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got 12 pens right now, counting the piglets, counting all the chickens, and I'm not getting 12 dogs, 1 for each pen. That's not going to happen. So our plan with Cal, as he eats up the old feed here, he's also a good vacuum cleaner, was to patrol our property, and he has done a good job so far. The only problem with that is that we're kind of fenced over here, and this is my mother-in-law's property over here, so it's okay if he goes over there. We just have barbed wire fence over on this side, and that's the neighbor's property, and so he's been going over there. So we're working on a plan to keep him in our yard. I'm going to run some strands of electric. He has hit the pig fence when he was young, and he learned very quick to stay away from the pig fence. So he is very smart. He's also stubborn. but he's been a great addition. We have not lost any animals to predators since we've had Cal. He's also very good with the aerial predators. I tried to get a video this morning when I let out the chickens. There was a big hawk, or it was a vulture or something, and he came running across the yard, head in the air, barking, and just moved that animal on. So a livestock guardian dog is a great option. We need to get set up better for him. He hasn't caused any issues at the neighbors, but we want to keep him on our property. So you got to make sure you're set up adequately for these dogs. I know some dogs are wanderers. The Karakachan dogs are not supposed to be wanderers. Yes, we're talking about you, bud. We're talking about you. And he has not really wandered. I mean, he goes into the field, but he's not going very far when he goes. But we're still working with him, and we're still getting the perfect setup to have him available. The main reason we got him was when we started running all our Cornish cross chickens. They are in our big chicken tractors, but we don't have electric around them, so stuff could dig up underneath. But with Cal out there in the yard, we feel like they are pretty safe. He is always looking, no matter, he'll lay up on the front porch, the back porch. He's always looking and listening to see what is going on, and he's been a great addition. But I just want to warn you of some of the things that we're still working on. He's been great around people. He's been great with the kids. And the biggest thing I need, hey, Cal. The biggest thing I keep forgetting is he's still a puppy. He's just over a year old. He turned 1 year in November. But as big as he is, you forget that they're still puppies and they're still learning. So anyway, that is a great option, a livestock guardian dog, but is taking on a big responsibility. But we love Cal, and he's doing good. You guys are probably wondering, if you haven't followed along, why does he only have one eye? We'll post that video right here about what happened with that, and you can check that out. But anyway, I hope this video has helped. If you can think of anything else you use on your farm to keep your animals safe, go ahead and put it down in the comments. Hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. Enjoy it with your family and friends. We'll check you out on the next video, and don't forget to make the change.